Well, yesterday I was doing a little map work. Maps are kind of an old thing at this point. You know, more often than not, we just pull out the phone, bring up Google Maps, plug in the address of where we need to go, and we get turn-by-turn directions on how to get where we're going. But yesterday I had to find an old school map and actually do some laying out of some lines. And we were trying to firm up for the diocese what boundaries, Hewlett, what are kind of the parish boundaries for our church, Hewlett. And so, you know, it's kind of fun to get a little old school and to pull out the maps and to start to look at the terrain and the roads and the rivers and the county boundaries and all of it. All that helps us to know where we're at, and at times to know where we're going. Growing up, I grew up down in Laramie, and we would spend summers camping up in the snows around the little kind of vacation community, basically at this point, of Keystone, near Rockroy Reservoir, not too far from Fox Park and Albany. Kind of know the world down there. Our favorite spot was Bobby Thompson Campground. And my mom's father had been a forest ranger, and he knew the area up there like the back of his head. And he was the one who laid out Bobby Thompson Campground. And for us during the summer, that was kind of cool. We'd spend a week at a time or free weekends and just love the time of it. Fishing, camping, hanging out, and driving around. And it was driving around often without a map. And my folks had kind of a sense of wanderlust, that they would love to just go, and my dad would say, I wonder where this road goes. It would be some old logging road. And off we go, bouncing over this not great road. And I in the back seat, probably not trusting my folks real well, because I internally and sometimes maybe even externally outside would be thinking, what if we get lost? Where are we going? And all of these fears would kind of raise up in my brain. Well, obviously we made it. We didn't get lost. We didn't break down in the middle of nowhere. Life was good. And we got to see some beautiful country and experience the beauty of God's creation. I was talking with Father Bryce the other day, and similar stories of just kind of hopping in the car and going. And I used to do that more than I do now. But summer that I spent with Deacon Kim and Father Kevin in Grable, Loveland Basin, one day, for no reason, didn't have anything great going on, and I just hopped in the car and I just started driving. Maybe it was a sense of getting out of Dodge, but I just hit the highway, and it ended up on one of those kind of I wonder where this road goes moments, and hit the Beartooth Highway, Chief Joseph Pass, absolutely gorgeous drive, not really the easiest or most comforting drive in the world, with steep hills and curves and all that. I think it was under construction, if I remember. But ended up kind of all the way up in Montana, circled back around, and life was good. Despite the fact that Father Kevin was not a happy camper to make it back. Such is life. We have those markers, those signposts, those things along the way that help to guide us and lead us, wherever we're at. And so Jesus, as he approached the end of his ministry physically here on earth, he was preparing his disciples, giving them the signpost, the map, the way to lead them. Because he wouldn't be there. He wouldn't eventually ascend to his Father. Wouldn't be there physically. But he told them, I am the way and the truth and the life. Jesus was that guidepost, that map for them along the way. And they wouldn't have to worry about getting on some side road, going down some path, and ending up lost along the way. If only they would keep their sights on Jesus Christ. If only they would remember that Jesus was the way, the truth, and the life. If he was that map and that guide along the way. We're no different all these many years later. Sure, we've got technology, we've got instant maps, we've got instant directions. But nothing will replace the fact that all of it and all of the conveniences that we have, all of it pales in comparison to our true God, true man, and that's Jesus Christ. He is the way, he is the truth, he is the life. And in this life, we have men and women who, in the image of Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, and the life, help to lead us ever closer to him and help to lead us ultimately to heaven. In our church, we can think of all of the saints along the way. We can think of our popes, our bishops, our priests, those men and women who have been so instrumental for us in leading us to Jesus Christ, in leading us ever closer to him and to the glory of eternal life. But we also have those guides along the way. Think about who has been important for you in your journey, in your walk in this life. Who are those guides that have helped to form you in the ways of right living, in the ways of mercy and justice, in the ways of Christ? You know, I think back to, even I went to public school, but I think back to some teachers that had such a profound impact on my life. I think back to priests, to friends, even those who challenged me, and those who invited me to consider vocation, to consider a walk deeper with Christ. And I'm also on this Mother's Day very mindful of my own mother, who has been and continues to be such an incredible witness of faith. She has taught me how to offer up suffering and to really give that suffering over to Christ and to try with every bit of strength to find that peace and that surrender and to recognize there is value even in suffering. Even at this point in her life, as she is a legacy, I'm ever mindful of how she formed me as a son, as a child, walking with their parent. She formed me by her example, as she, out of love and care, out of that Christ-like mercy and compassion, she went every day to visit her mother in the nursing home. Over the course of 7 years, there was rarely a day that she missed. That formed me and taught me how to care and walk with my own at this point in life. Who are those guides? Who has helped to lead you closer to Christ, the way, the truth, and the life? Also keep in mind our own calling. We not only need to surrender and recognize our dependence on Christ, to follow his way, to follow that truth, to follow that life he gives to us, but we're also in a pretty incredible position to share that life and share that love with others. Again, think, who in your life right now needs a voice of support or care or compassion? Who needs these works of mercy that surround us? Those are ways that we disciple, that we walk with one another. who maybe is asking questions of faith, or searching, or struggling, that you can reach out to with Christ-like love and mercy, that you can invite to the church, to faith, to come to know Jesus in a deeper way. Who is it that you are going to walk with and invite that we can come back to Mass and the sacraments? Who are you going to disciple and lead to Jesus, the way, truth, life? These days of COVID-19 undoubtedly have been a challenge for all of us. But every day, in my own life and in visiting with people, in seeing reflections, I truly am blessed by knowing and seeing how God is working in our midst, and how He is showing us, even through the midst of suffering, of unemployment, of sickness, of all that this pandemic brings, God continues to lead us to His Son. We have eyes to see, willingness to surrender. Jesus is there because He is the way. No other way truly help us as people. He is the truth. Look to Him and look to the teachings of the church, handed on to us from Him and from the apostles. Truly know that way to walk. Truly know that truth of life. And of course, He is our life. Nothing else will truly satisfy. He is the fullness of everything we are and everything we long to be. He showed us the way. He is walking with us through His death on the cross. Through His resurrection from the dead and His ascension to heaven, He has shown us the way to walk in this life. He shows us the way to eternal life. Those around us serve as our guiders to lead us to Him. Way, truth,